So, guys, MMA UK news. Obviously, myself, Stoomboy, as always, for the MMA UK BJJ show. So, talking about SGI8 as we've been doing for the last few days. So, SGI8 is going to be Saturday, the 9th of October, Maryhill Community Halls. It's going to be doors open 5 o'clock. First fight is going to be the quarter-final of the 8-man open weight tournament. And then it's going to be headlined by, obviously, the final of that same tournament. Now, and she's seen it was announced earlier today. Obviously, we knew that Jack Dolan had pulled out due to an injury sustained at ADCC at the ADCC trials. So up steps Keith Kavanagh, 10th Planet. Keith comes with a fantastic resume. Keith was, I believe, a coach out in Alabama. So he'd been kind of coaching out there for 10th Planet. Obviously from Ireland himself. I believe he's brown belt. Got his brown belt last year, I believe. Again, we'll find out a little bit more from Keith later on tonight. So Keith's going to be the 8-man. So we've now got Mark McQueen, Nathaniel Montgomery, Lawrence Fitzpatrick, Chris Walsh, Owen Livesey, Ed Ingemels, and Keith Kavanagh. So we now have the 8 guys. So fingers crossed we can keep these 8 guys, because as I said, 8 top level guys. So promises to be a fantastic tournament. Tickets are only available from Scottish Grappling on the Eventbrite page. So you will not get tickets if you turn up at the door like we normally do, purely because it being a council building, and track and trace is very, very strict when it comes to the council. So make sure you get your tickets online from Scottish Grappling on the Eventbrite page. So my guest today then, Lewis Pennie. Lewis Pennie, regular on the Scottish scene. So as I say, we can see Lewis competing, obviously before lockdown came, was competing all the time. Obviously since lockdown, I believe you've managed to a couple of, is it 2 competitions I believe you've done so far?
Just the one. It was meant to be 2, but just the one now.
Yeah. So obviously we were going to see him at Evolution of Combat, but Lewis sustained obviously a bit of an injury at Scottish Grappling, which was made worse at work. So unfortunately I had to pull out against Barry Monroe. So Lewis this time is going to be up against Liam Slay. Liam Slay is again a familiar face to Lewis, very, very familiar face. So Liam trains out of CVA Jiu-Jitsu under Ben Fletcher. So obviously a good amount of guys coming out of that gym as well. So Lewis Pennie of DMMA, how you doing, Lewis? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Yourself?
I'm good, sir. I'm good. So back training then. So obviously had a bit of an injury. So how's it been back training?
Yeah, not too bad. Last week was my first training session back, and then ended up going to Fair City Jiu-Jitsu on Friday night to get a bit of training in with those guys, with Stephen and that, and it's pretty good. And then training now later on today. So back training now, hopefully for good.
Nice. Is that the first time you've been out to Fair City since they've all been done up?
But first time ever, so it was good getting a nice visit, nice new faces, and it was good. Place is great. Stephen's a great role. His top pressure was insane.
Yeah.
Really good.
I remember when they done the gym up, and the gym looked, obviously on pictures, it looked absolutely fantastic. So
it's beautiful, yeah. Clean as it.
Yeah. I spotted that. I seen it because it was very, very. Is it white or a kind of light grey? I can't really.
White, yeah.
But yeah, very, very white. Yeah. So
it's windows all the way around. So it's like open windows, so you can look right in. It was great.
What is it? Is it on in the town centre? Is it on the kind of high street?
I think it's near the centre. Yeah, it's just on a corner. It's really nice.
Yeah. What about when you're rolling? Do people kind of stop outside and watch in the windows?
I didn't really notice. I was too busy rolling, but like when I was warming up and that, I saw people staring in all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Nice. Always love it. I mean, I remember training at GB Glasgow years ago, and they had the kind of big windows as well. And yeah, I mean, obviously further on in the night it went. Obviously the windows all got steamed up, so nobody could see in anyway. But yeah, at the start of the night, you would always look over at the windows, and there'd be a line of people outside just watching what you guys are doing.
Fair enough. No boss.
And it always brought people in as well. Like, what is it you're doing? Come in, and they did get members off the back of it. So it's a good marketing ploy to have big windows, so people can see in. And what about you then? So Liam Slay, Liam's again familiar to you?
Yeah, I've trained with Liam for 2, maybe 3 years when he was up at DMMA, and then we've bickered back and forth for years, constantly, always getting at each other. So it'll be good to finally actually settle that officially.
Nah, but I mean, it's all friendly. It's all friendly.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So, but no, Liam had said, I kind of knew Liam had trained with you guys before, and then obviously now it's CVA now. So, I mean, the bit of back and forth then. So the banter is it? What's the banter like between the two of you?
It's pretty tough. We're normally at each other's necks all the time, especially when he was back at DMMA. So as soon as he moved to CVA, I was like, "You'll get on SGI then."
Yeah.
And he was, as soon as lockdown and we're back training, yeah. As soon as the gyms had opened up, I messaged him. I was like, "So SGI?" He was like, "Yeah, sounds good."
Nice.
I'll go set up.
Nice. So this was a kind of matchup that was always going to happen then.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
Who used to kick whose ass back in the day?
I'm not going to name any names here, but maybe in this end.
Nice. Couple of questions come in. So obviously, Arn East, MMA UK News. So other than your matchup, is there a particular matchup at obviously the stacked SGI event that you're looking forward to seeing?
Obviously, I want to see the other DMMA guys do really well. We've got James Smith and Andrew Marley on the card, and I'm really looking forward to that 8-man tournament as well. I want to see how that all goes down.
Definitely. I've got Andrew Marley. I'm going to have him on at some point this week as well. I know I've already touched base with him. James Smith. I mean, I think I'd message James Smith, but yeah, he's one of these guys probably not on Facebook as much. So
I'll give him a message, get him back to you.
Yeah, let him know I've sent him a message, so I'm just waiting on him getting back to me. And then Katie saying blinds down in lockdown. So just talking about Fair City Jiu-Jitsu with the big windows. So obviously the blinds are down, nobody can see what's going on. So I don't know if they could do that, Katie, because obviously they've got windows all the way around. I mean, there's a lot of windows. So I don't know if they could put blinds down or anything like that in Fair City Jiu-Jitsu. So, but I'm sure they managed to get some training in somehow. So, and then what about you? I mean, obviously we knew, you unfortunately got the injury for Evolution of Combat. I mean, is Evolution of Combat maybe something that you want to see yourself again on in the future?
I definitely want to, especially that match with Barry. I want that to happen again, and I think they've got a December card or something near there. I know they've got one coming up down in England, so I don't fancy 2 Scottish lads travelling all the way down to England just to compete. End up like Pat Rowan. But if they've got another event up here, I'd happily go up against Barry again up here.
Yeah. And anybody doesn't know about Patrick Rowan. Patrick Rowan was down in Manchester a few weeks ago. Went down for a comp. I think they all go down in the same car.
Yeah.
I believe so. There was Patrick Rowan, Blair Hamilton, and Adam Hill, who all trained together. They all travelled down together, and they were all matched up against each other in the competition. And when you looked at the podium, I think you had, I think it was Adam Hill was first place, Patrick was second, and Blair was third.
Yeah.
And I think that was the same. It was it was in the gi, and then I think it happened a couple of times where they were all on the same podium. So they could have easily stopped in a car park on the way down the road, could have saved themselves a load of money and a load of travelling time.
You get the medal, it's all right.
That's true. I mean, it's always a nightmare. I mean, you've done it before, where you've travelled all the way to an event and you've came across somebody that you've either trained with or you're pals with or something like that. So it's always a bit of a nightmare.
Especially this like the smaller weight class as well. It's always you run into them all the time in competition, and then you'll go down and train at their gyms and that. It's every time you're always running into people, you know.
Yeah. And especially Scotland as well. Now that we're a quite close community now, so we've all trained with each other at some point. So so it's always a bit of a nightmare when you go down and you're training with maybe teammates or ex-teammates, friends, or things like that. So, but I mean, it's jiu-jitsu. I mean, that's what we do. So we just want to see who's got the biggest balls at the end of the day.
Yeah. So, I mind going down to Mop's gym the week before I was competing with him, with his boys. One of his boys, I think it was Kieran Reid, back in like SGI8 or something.
Yeah.
Week before at his gym training with them. That was good.
Yeah.
Always going to be.
It's always brilliant. It's always brilliant. And then so obviously the evolution of combat. So obviously fingers crossed they can get you. Dan can get you matched up on that the next time. Hopefully get that Barry Monroe fight set up again. So hopefully we can.
That's a match I'm looking forward to. Not this Saturday, but next is his match with Ian as well. I think that'll be a good.
Yeah. Ian came off a devastating TKO victory at Evolution of Combat. I mean, I was talking. I mean, that head kick was. I mean, and you know what the Maryhill Community Halls, any kind of noise echoes throughout. So obviously, when he hit him with that head kick, I mean, it just echoed throughout the building.
Remind that it was some slap like fuck.
Yeah. So he came off of that good win.
Yeah.
Barry had a tough fight against Jack Gillis. Tough matchup against Jack Gillis. Unfortunately, didn't get the victory. So, but as I say, that won't stop Barry this time. Barry will come in against Ian, all guns blazing as he normally does.
Yeah.
So hopefully, fingers crossed, Evolution of Combat at some point in the future, we can get that fight set up again. So, and then last thing for you then. I mean, we're going to see you on the 9th, but anybody you want to kind of shout out to, friends, family members, teammates? I know we only spoke a few weeks ago.
Yeah, it's very recent, but
yeah.
Shout out to all the guys at DMMA, Billy, Fen, Craig, everyone who's like taught me since I was like, well, you can't see, but that high. And obviously shout out to Jamie and the rest of the grappling goonies, Connor, Gav. And just looking forward to this match.
Nice one. So Lewis Pennie, DMMA, is going to be up against Liam Slay, CVA Jiu-Jitsu. Bit of a rivalry, so we'll look forward to this one. So SGI8, Maryhill Community Halls, Saturday the 9th of October. As I said, get your tickets on the Eventbrite page. Make sure you do get them. So Lewis, buzzing to see you again, buddy. Looking forward to it. So listen, stay safe, and I'll see you on the 9th, buddy. All right?
Perfect. Sounds good.
Take it easy, mate. Thank you.
Yep.